Okay, so here we go. India champions 2023 did not happen. 2025 it has happened. Shomik Chakraborty from DY Patil. Gargi Rao joining me in the studio. Trisha Ghoshal will join us soon. Shomik, first thoughts, what's happening? Absolute madness. The party is about to begin. Tell me.
Oh, the party has begun. In fact, the party is the slogan. The slogan started about a half an hour back when South Africa lost their captain, and that was the long kiss goodnight for South Africa when their captain and mind spare a thought for her. Amid the celebration, Laura Woodward played a superb innings. I mean, back-to-back hundreds in the World Cup. The first player to score 100 in a women's World Cup final. But but today the story is India. This is Indian women's cricket 1983 moment, and I think the women's cricket has got a new superpower in the sense the new powerhouse. So far it was all about Australia, all about Australia women's cricket. Now Australia sort of they are done and dusted. India is the new superpower.
Absolutely. Gargi, first reactions before I go back to Shomik and Trisha again. Trisha will join us.
This is absolutely unreal. This is not something I was expecting when that match, when the first half of the campaign happened. It brings back so many memories of 2017 as well. India went in with a lot of hope. India went into that final with a lot of hope and returned with heartbreak, with a lot of tears. It brought back memories of that. But when India got 298 runs on the scoreboard tonight, it looked more than possible. It looked like India was just one step away from winning the World Cup. I was feeling like South Africa, it would be a match that would go down to the wire. It almost did, but what a beautiful performance from India. They were on the money today. Harmanpreet
Gargi,
Kaur
slightly
did
louder, please. Slightly louder. Need your audio slightly better.
Harmanpreet Kaur was spot on with the bowling changes. You feel for Laura Woolward, you feel for South Africa, but at the same time, India are the rightful winners because they were on their A game today and just played better cricket than anybody else. They were absolutely incredible tonight.
Yeah, clearly, Shomik, I mean, multiple things. Shafali Verma drafted in from nowhere, 87 with the bat, and then those two wickets, including the one of Marizan Cup. Shomik, take it away.
That shows how strong a character she is. It's not easy when you are not you when you are not even in the scheme of things. You are not a part of the original squad, and without Pratika Rawal's injury, he wouldn't have been part of this World Cup. Against Australia, she failed. She failed, but coming back in the final and coming up with a player of the match performance. I'm outside the stadium. I still don't know who has won the player of the match award, but for me, uh, Shefali Verma is the player of the match and doing that player of the match performance. It shows how strong character he is. And this also shows the depth. We talk about the depth in Indian men's cricket, but here we are. This is the depth of Indian women's cricket. Someone who was not even part of the squad coming up, playing. Playing the match of her life in a final. So I mean, it's unbelievable. And I will reiterate. This is Indian women's cricket 1983 moment.
100% 1983 moment. Bharat joins us as well. Gargi, I'll come to you. Harmanpreet Kaur pretty inconsistent with the whole tournament with bat and captaincy. We called her out, but today that Shefali Verma move, that was an absolutely brilliant move to get Shefali back to wicket. And India today redeemed themselves on the field. Round fielding you can still say, but the Ramanjot run out and the catching, that stood out for India. But again, I insist that Shafali Verma move by Harmanpreet Kaur and Shafali Verma herself with the bat, soaking in that pressure of the final. Gargi out first and then Bharat. I'll go back to Shomik in a bit.
Sorry, I could not hear the last part.
The Shafali Verma bit,
Oh,
and
I
then the Harmanpreet Kaur moved to get Shafali Verma to bowl those 2 overs, and then that spell, you've got to say that was the deciding stroke that actually won the match for India.
this is the kind of captaincy that we were asking for all along in the tournament. This is the proactiveness that we wanted to see from Harmanpreet Kaur as captain. But what a performance from Shafali Verma. We were talking about how much of a difference can Shafali Verma make in the final two games. It's the semi-final and the final. The pressure is just way too much, but at the same time, Shafali Verma stepped up. The kind of pressure that she was able to soak in today is incredible. There is, if you see the visuals on the screen right now, Pratika Rawal is in the stadium. She's in a wheelchair, but she's being interviewed by the broadcaster, so that's really nice to watch. There's Trisha uh, with the visuals outside of the stadium. You can tell that the fans are so happy. You're on mute, Boria.
No, it's fine. Keep that screen between Shomik and Trisha and keep
Yes.
going.
Absolutely. No, Shafali Verma, I think she deserves to get the player of the match tonight, because she's made such a difference with both bat and the ball. What she did with the ball, I think, made a huge difference to India's campaign, to India's the contribution that she had in making India win this World Cup tonight is unmatched. And the fact that she wasn't even in the team to begin with is something that we will all look back and sort of laugh about, because how does this even happen?
Yeah, I mean, that's Trisha Ghoshal joining us from outside the DY Patil. Trisha, we first reactions. It's okay. We'll see the crowd reactions. Need to get you on the screen. First reactions before we get to Bharat and Shomik again. Mid innings prediction fail. তুমি দুষ্টু লোক তোমার মাথায় আচ্ছা okay. Who cares for what prediction, etc., etc. Let's just celebrate before Trisha
Nobody
joins.
predicted
Bharat first
anything,
comment.
by the way.
But Bharat first comments.
Yeah, it's an historic moment for women's cricket, and great to see the kind of passion that is around, not just among the players, but also among the fans. And what a great performance it was from someone like Shafali Verma at the right time. I think there's a tweak in her technique that she was basically playing across the front pad, something that I noticed as well on and put it up on Twitter that she was playing a lot more on the front foot, playing with a straight bat. She was taking a step or two towards the bowler, and then she went on to really play some great shots down the ground. And then the bowling hand is something that I don't know what to say. What to say about her performance with the ball in hand. Actually, she imparted some reps on the ball. Actually, more reps on the ball than someone like Radha Yadav, and she deserves all the plaudits. And it's a letter day in the history of Indian sports.
We've got to mute those. We've got to mute the feeds, guys. We've got to mute the feeds. Yeah, otherwise, there's nobody will be able to hear anyone. Yes, Trisha, if you can hear us, we don't need the crowd. Come on screen. We need you to comment on it. Forget the crowd. We can see the crowd behind you. Yeah, there you go. First comments, first thoughts, first comments.
Finally, finally, you know, this was long awaiting. Finally, nobody is going to comment that we're not the women going to win the World Cup. The World Cup is right here. What a history! What a match! Well, I mean, we have been waiting for this. I think since childhood, I've been waiting for this. I've been hearing India going to the final 2005, 2017, and I remember crying after 2017, and then 2020, and now 2025.
You spoke to
It's a big deal.
What was the reaction? You
Yeah.
spoke to Mithali Raj. What was the reaction?
She said a huge burden is off her chest today. Finally, she said, she can finally breathe easy. That's what she said. I think she was hugely emotional, but of course, running for the show. Yeah, I think it is an emotional moment, Boyala, for anybody. But and everybody who has been associated with this sport. I think from where it started to where it is now and where it goes from here, the immense opportunity. I think I'm blabbering. I just don't know what to say. I think I need some time to cry maybe.
Your internet is still a bit patchy. Your internet is still a
It's
bit patchy.
just a
You need to
wonderful
get to a
feeling.
better spot.
I
I
can't
think
hear
Shomik
you.
and
Why can't I hear people? Yeah.
Trisha, your internet is patchy. You need to get to a better spot. Shomik, let's get the match. I mean, if you really see the match, 298 wasn't a winning score. It was a good deck. South Africa bats deep, up to Chloe Tryon and Nadine de Klerk. But India, the spin bowling changes. Sri Charani bowled beautifully. A word on Deepti Sharma, Shomik. 2017, Deepti Sharma, a 17-year-old, played that shot, got out for 9, and then India lost. Today, 50 from Deepti Sharma and 4 wickets. Shomik, take that away.
See, it was redemption for a lot of players, not only Dipti Sharma. Given that we started with Shefali and then Dipti Sharma, even Harmanpreet Kaur. You can, I mean, we have seen after those three losses how badly she was criticized, and criticism, fair criticism was justified. Now, I mean, the way she has turned things around. Dipti Sharma, seriously, this shows the skill this team has. The players, it's about the skill. I I told Gargi during our meeting show, South Africa doesn't have a chance in the world to hit about 298, 300. They are not going to do that. They are serial bottlers. They will never do that. That's not in their DNA. Chasing down 300 in the final. They are not going to do that. In the morning, my prediction was 110 minus 10 for India. After during mid innings when Trisha, I was a bit hesitant to counter Trisha's prophecy, given that she religiously covers. So I toned it down and said 95-5 in favor of South Africa, in favor of India. Trisha goes. Everyone. This is, I mean, even we should talk about Pratika Rawal. Without that century, she didn't play the last two games, but without that century, India might not have come into the knockouts. So it is redemption for everyone in this team. What
Okay, so
she
now we
went
have
through
Shovik's
and
internet.
that innings
Internet
knock in the
becoming patchy. I
semis.
think Trisha's is better.
भारत माता की
Let's
जय.
mute Shovik and let's make Trisha can see. Trisha, your internet is better. I think we can you hear us? Can you hear us? No, we can't hear you either. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Take it over. Take it over. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it over.
Yes. I think my phone also got emotional a bit. Yes. Okay. I think my phone also got emotional. Considering, I mean, this is huge. This is going to change everything for women's cricket. This is something that uh, we have been dreaming for. We have been waiting for. अभी क्या बोलूँ अभी मैं रो दूँ भी like में यार. Uh, uh, this is big. This is big. And the best part is the way it came. There was one moment in the match. There were several partnerships in the match where we could have lost it. We could have, not capitalized on the crunch situations, not come back in the crunch situation. We came back and the team performed so well. Um, when Laura Woolworth was batting, it did not seem like, that the dream will be fulfilled. And it was almost like the heart was half breaking. But yeah, it is what it
Trisha,
is now.
Trisha, I want to ask you
Now we
as
are
someone
world
who's
champions. So anybody comes and says, why should we watch women's cricket? You should watch women's cricket because we are the world champions now.
love the passion from Trisha there. I want to still ask you, Trisha, as someone who's played the sport, as someone who's dedicated her life to coaching,
Yeah,
to
Gargi, I have
environment.
lost you again. I don't know. Something is happening with the internet or what. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me now? No, I don't think she can. But Bharat, this is long, long awaited. We've been waiting since a very long time. 2005 was one heartbreaking moment. 2017 was one heartbreaking moment. What does this change for women's cricket in India? It's going to be incredible what happens for women's cricket after this.
Yeah, if you talked about 2005, I will go back to the 2005 World Cup actually because there was no telecast of that particular final. That just tells you how much women's cricket has come by. Because I remember I was basically watching Doordarshan News and Sports Center on ESPN to understand what exactly was going on. Alex Blackwell or someone scored some runs, I guess, and India went on to lose that match, but there was no live telecast of that match. So that tells you how much women's cricket has come through. Even if India had not won this World Cup final by chance, I think Indian women's cricket has come a long, long way. And this time will take women's cricket in the country to some other level because a lot of young girls would have watched this match, not just in the stadium. A lot of them on the TV would have watched this match on the TV, on streaming. So a lot of girls will get inspired by it, and you will see a lot more, I guess, talented cricketers coming through the ranks. As far as this particular triumph is concerned, it is not just related to those girls, Shafali Varma, Smriti Mandana, Harmanpreet Kaur. Let us also remember Shanta Rangaswamy ma'am, Sudha Shah, I guess, yeah, Diana Ajuji, and all those women, even Parmila Bhatt, Purnima Rao. I'm going back, right back to some other time, not just Mitali Raj's time, Margaret, Renu Margaret. So all these women from 90s, 80s, they have played their roles as well. Aarti Vaidya, and yes, finally, this red letter day of Indian women's cricket has arrived, and their moment in the sun has arrived, and I'm very, very happy for them.
Trisha and Shomik, I guess you're both in the same frame now. Take it away. Tell us what's going on outside of the DY Patil Stadium. It was such a treat to watch. Every single stand, every single seat in blue. It was a sea of blue. It was almost like the blue was reflecting onto the ground. It was jam packed tonight. Tell us about the crowd and what's it like outside right now.
Sparky, have you ever seen women's cricket capturing fans, the line, the way it did today? And you can see it's 12:25 a.m. And the nearest railway station from here, from Suburban Railway, is Farmville, which is about 15 minutes via an auto ride. And the last train is 12:30. A lot of them, the majority of them, will miss the last train. It is far off from from Mumbai and the Greater Mumbai. Yet, you can see the sea of people, the passion also. As of now, the fans so far are not unruly. They are celebrating, they are enjoying the moment. They are trying to. The moment is still sinking into them, but as of now, they are not yet. They are not unruly. Maybe there are odd incidents. I even have about an odd incident. So huge shout out to the fans here. The way they turned up. Not only the fans, also the legends of the game. From Sachin Tendulkar to Rohit Sharma to Sunil Gavaskar, everyone, they turned up to support the winning team. So that is another thing. And also, we must remember the contribution of Jai Sah. He is now the ICC chair. But when he was for the BCCI secretary, without Jai Sah and the BCCI record, this race list of human cricket would be the equal matches for men and women, contracted men and women cricketers. I mean, awards for women cricket player of the match and player of the tournament at the junior level, support, infrastructure, everything, the way BCCI contributed to supporting women cricket under Jacob when he was the secretary. We must remember that. Without that support, this way wouldn't have come. And at the end of the day, it is the player. And also Amol Majumdar of the coach. Who has making a lot of planning. It's not easy. We have seen in the past, I mean, the likes of Romesh Tower, how the business, but Amol and the respect he has from the team. After the semi-final, the way Armanpreet spoke about Amol, the way he spoke about Amol's team talk, everything. At the end of the day, it's the players who go out there. So these are the, I mean, in 1983, we saw that, we called that the Peace Journey. And I would call this Harman fantastic.
Trisha, I
I
want
think
to ask you.
special mention to Shafali Verma. I mean, think of this: you have been thrown out of the squad, and dropped because you were not even there in the results. Not considered, inconsistent, so many things said, done, and then you come there, you come good in the big match and
Player of the tournament, Deepti Sharma.
has to be. She was outstanding with the bat, with the ball. Whenever India needed, she was she was fantastic with the bat, with the ball, whenever needed. Be it today, be it the Sri Lanka match. Think of this. You wouldn't have been celebrating this at the Sri Lanka match. The Amanjot Deepti partnership, the Sneh Rana contribution did not happen. So I think a superb, tournament for Deepti. But as I was saying, think of Shafali Verma. You were playing domestic. You were not even being consistent in domestic, and so probably you were not even in the reckoning as yet with Katika performing so well. She gets injured. Shafali comes in and then scores an 87 and picks up important wickets. Absolutely, the Sunelu Boulevard partnership could have taken South Africa. कुछ है शो करने दीजिए ना. So yeah, the Boulevard Sunelu partnership could have gone further, but yeah, as I said, Shafali took two excellent wickets, and I thought excellent captaincy from Harman on that particular part. I think she was excellent in getting Shafali on. In the next when Shafali was bowling, she was actually bowling these speed balls, but half trackers. But still, for Harman to get her to bowl, I think the best and the only brilliant captaincy move from Harman so far in her captaincy career.
Sure, I mean, it's about her bowling changes, not only about her bowling changes. The way she brilliantly cut down the angles, it's not easy.
Correct.
It's not easy.
But that was not Harman alone. There was Harman, there was Jemmy, there was Smriti, and there was Deepti. No, I know, but then they were having a conference continuously, so we can't take it away from.
Even the ground dimension,
Yeah.
the ground dimension
Yeah.
outside, it's not easy at DI Patil Stadium.
Absolutely,
But
but
now,
showing that there is a leadership group also behind her. Absolutely. So that's
in a team sport, nothing is nothing is individual. It is always a leadership.
yeah, absolutely. And I think everybody stood up at the correct time. And I'm glad that Deepti has one player of the tournament. Deepti, her contributions, her continuous, contributions with the bat, with the ball, has been criticized because Deepti is not someone who has become a brand as such. So she has been criticized over and over again, and this World Cup proves why Deepti Sharma is a match winner, and also this could prove an absolute boon for Shafali Verma, who was trying to make her mark by playing the domestic.
Shafali Verma not even in the reserves
You
of the
have
World
to
Cup
take a
squad to
look because
begin
I
with.
have to join Bangla life for a while.
Yes, of course. So, Trisha, how are you joining?
I will join through my phone.
Yeah, okay. Bharat, sport is a funny thing. Shafali Verma not even in the reserves of the squad to begin with, and tonight in the final match, he delivers the most game-changing performance. But before that, Desi Murgi, don't spoil the fun, don't ruin the fun. We all know that outside of stadiums, especially when it's jam-packed like this, there are jammers out there because of the kind of crowd or sheer volume of people out there, there will be internet issues. So don't be such a spoil sport. But yes, Bharat, on Shafali Verma.
Yeah, first of all, I have to say that some credit has to go to the management and Shafali Varma, because if you notice, there was a change in her technique in the semi-final. In the semi-final, she played across the front pad. That is something that has been troubling her a lot. So she's been getting out the nip packer, the in-swinger. So what they did was they just tweaked her technique a little bit. She was taking a step or two out of the crease so that she can get her front foot out towards the pitch of the ball and hit it a lot straighter. I think that was the key difference that resulted in Shafali Verma scoring all those runs, because he was able to play a lot of shots straight down the ground. And yes, you have to give it to Shafali for her fearlessness, the way she was able to just go out there and express herself from ball one, just right from ball one. She was able to play her strokes. And then with the ball in hand, I have to say that she got enough reps on the ball because she was bowling slower through the air compared to someone like Radha Yadav. Radha Yadav, a slight pitch, she's not able to get impart enough reps on the ball. But if you notice, Shafali was imparting some reps on the ball, and by bowling at 47 miles per hour. She slowed it up, got a little more reps on the ball, and that is what really helped her. So credit also, as I noted, has to go to the management, because there is a tweak in her technique, and somewhere the management has seen that she's playing too much across the front pad, and it's time to maybe change it technique a little bit. So she was taking a step or two right down towards the pitch of the ball and hitting a lot of lofted strokes.
Somajit Sen Gupta, India has just won the World Cup and you're talking about Harshit Rana. Harshit Rana, no, we won't even spend a second on this. Trisha, I really wanted to ask you this question. As someone who's dedicated her life to cricket, be it coaching, be it umpiring, be it playing, and now in journalism, production before that, you've been in cricket all your life. We've waited for this moment for a very, very long time. How does it feel for you? And what do you think this is going to change for all the young girls out there?
I think it's going to change everything. I think it's going to change everything. Women's cricket now will be a sport that has commanded respect. I think so far they had done that. It's not that they hadn't, but 2005 and 2017 still was a little, in the public platform, but 2005 was completely in the radar. It is not only about young girls. Think about all the pioneers of the sport. And I can tell you this because, what one of my family members is a pioneer of this sport. And there are so many. Diana Edulji, Shanta Rangaswamy, of course, Anjum Chopra, Julan Goswami, Mithali Raj. I think it will mean the world to every single one. And as far as I am concerned, Gargi, I think I will process it as the time goes, as the day goes. Because when Herman took that last catch, I think I went to the toilet straight up. Because I was all I was not moving from my place. I was I was completely numb, and I had my Bluetooth headset on with the music at the loudest because I was so worried and I was so anxious when this Laura and Sunelu partnership was going on, that I kind of was thinking that it happens, right? When you have been through a heartbreak, and when you have been through two heartbreaks, you suddenly start relapsing. You suddenly start thinking, okay, everything is going out of hands, everything is going out of bounds. Sneha, she's beside me, was continuously checking and seeing that I was just not reacting, because I cannot tell you, Gargi, how much this means to me. I'll still take time to process, because when you're not inside and when you're outside, it is still taking a little time to register that we are the world champions. But oh my God, uh, it was a dream as a kid that in a World Cup final, I'll be picking up 5 wickets and giving that trophy to the captain. I will be the one responsible for it, but either way, it's a huge deal that I am at the ground when this happened, because I have dreamt of this many years, since childhood. I cannot probably put in words how much this means to me. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Tonight is all for emotions. As we can see on the screen as well, I've got a TV above me and Amol Muzumdar, Harmanpreet Kaur, just letting their tears fall today. This is incredible what we're all seeing. And
Yeah.
Trisha, Pratika Rawal also on a wheelchair. She's joined the team. Of course, she's been a part of the
Yeah,
winning
we knew
campaign,
she will be
and
with the team, and why
yeah,
not? I think she has been fantastic as well. People might forget her contributions with Shafali, contributing 87 today and taking 3 wickets, but you cannot forget how much that young girl has contributed. Unfortunately, injured, but as they say, whatever happens probably happens for a reason. Shafali had to come, Shafali had to score, and Shafali had to pick up wickets.
as Somajit is saying, it's God's plan for Shafali Verma. It
Exactly
was
what
divine
Shafali
in
said.
today.
Exactly what Shafali said in the press conference. She said, "God has sent me to do something good. I will do something good," and she has done massively good.
Absolutely. I mean, it's also baffling because I think only let's say 3 days ago, if you had told me, or if anyone had told me that India would be the World Cup winners, we would doubt it for a second because the campaign hasn't been convincing, let's be honest. But the way that India turned it around in the semi-final and final means everything to every single person sitting in that stadium tonight, every single person in front of a TV screen watching for the entirety since 6 p.m. Sorry, since 3 p.m. Glued to their TV screens, waiting for the rain to go away. Everyone will be delighted to watch this. Bharat, Amanjot's catch. She almost dropped it, but uh, Pitmonk is saying
Yeah, I think yes,
Amanjot's catch
I
deserves
agree.
it.
If Laura
Yeah,
Woolward stayed on, she would have taken the match deeper, and then Chloe Tryon and Nadine de Klerk's work would have been easier. But yes, it is it. And when she was juggling with the ball, the entire press box was going, oh, thank God. that is exactly those fraction of a second. And but again, as I said, you know what that shows, Gargi, that we have won the pressure moments. This is exactly what we were not able to do, and we have done that.
this is Kolkata. Look at these visuals from Kolkata. People are on the street with the largest Indian flag that I have seen. This is incredible, the kind of celebrations that we're seeing tonight. But Bharat, I wanted to ask you. Someone has joined us here.
Thankfully, I came back.
It's
This is
Shamik.
great.
It's Shamik. But Bharat, one question for you here. If I still believe if Chloe Tryon and Nadine Clark had stayed, they could have taken it away.
Shamikda
But
has joined here. I'll join Hindi, huh? I'll just join
okay,
Hindi. Uncle.
what are your thoughts about it, Bharat? Indian bowler struck at the right time.
No, I think Laura's wicket was the key one because if she had taken it to a score of maybe 206, 250, let us say 250, then 50 runs could have been scored by Trayon and Nadine de Klerk. But Laura Woolward bowling with a score of around 215 has more or less sealed the deal for the Indian team. Yes, Reddy Clark is very dangerous, but I think she needed someone like Laura Woolward to stay on for another 30, 40 runs. Then I think South Africa would have mounted a serious challenge. But honestly, I have to say the Indian team was just better than the South African team in all three departments of the game. So I won't agree that South Africa choked. I think they were just beaten by a better side. Australian team, I guess, choked a bit. I have to say that Australian team choked a bit because they dropped some sitters. Considering that, I think they did crumble under pressure. But here, I think it was a case of the Indian team just being more skilled than the South African team in the prevailing conditions in all three departments of the game. Because even in the fielding department, if you notice, I think India were better in the field than the South African team. So India thoroughly deserved this victory, and they have come out on top.
Shamik, Nomad Tibet has sent us a super chat. He's saying if we ask a week ago who's going to win the World Cup, probably not India. Our girls performed exceptionally well in the semi-finals and finals. So proud of the women's team.
Obviously everyone is proud of the women's team. Everyone. I'm not talking about only the Indians. Indians will obviously be proud of the women's team. I think every cricket lover will be proud of the women's team because the entire tournament was the redemption arc for many players in this team. You start with Shefali Verma Shefali Verma was the cherry on the top in the final, coming into the side in the semi-final. But from Richa Ghosh, uh, Shefali Verma, Harmanpreet Kaur, Jemima Rodriguez, everyone, this tournament has been the redemption arc for all of them. So from that point of view, and mind losing three matches, three close matches during the group phase, and then coming back when everything became a virtual knockout, and then coming back and winning four matches on the three matches on the spin because the other one was a washout, and against New Zealand and Australia. In fact, India won the World Cup in the semi-final. Once they beat Australia, the World Cup was theirs to lose because South Africa was never going to beat India in the final. I told you during mid innings that 300 was going to be beyond them. It is they are not going to do it. But India actually won the World Cup, chasing down 338, 339 in the semi-final against Australia. I just wish this is not a one-off. I wish this Indian team, and they have the wherewithal to create that Australia's kind of dominance in women's cricket. Sport works in cycle. Australia was the dominant team. Their time is up. Now it's India's time. Go and grab it. Carpe diem. Carpe diem. Go and grab it and be there for a while. Be the most dominant side in women's game in world cricket. That and if they can do it, I would be that would be very very heartening.
And here we have a photo posted by the Indian cricket team. There's the Indian cricket team watching the World Cup final. There's Rinku Singh, there's Jasprit Bumrah, there's T. Dilip and Gautam Gambhir and Sitanshu Kotak while having their lunch or dinner, not sure what, but and watching the girls. This is an incredible moment. This is an incredible moment for everyone involved, especially those who were on the ground and were able to witness this in real time. I'm not sure what this says. Uh, Shomik, can you please read it out? It's in Bengali.
আরে রাখছো কেন আজকেও ফুর্তি করবো না আমি ভালো করে মিষ্টি খাওয়া যায় গার্গি the thing is that I don't know the backstory so we can ignore this because maybe this the backstory of this I'm not aware of we can take this one.
What does this say? First time Rohit saw ODI World Cup win at the stadium. Not won 1983, sacked in 2011 on 86 trial ODI. Lost doctor pitch. Okay. Uh,
This is not a time. This is not a time to be sarcastic
exactly.
about Rohit Sharma. Please show some class. Please show some class. That man is a legend of the white ball game. He was there all the way through to support the women's team. Okay, so please show some class. You can never reach Rohit Sharma's level as a cricketer, right? So just this is not the time. Celebrate India's win. Take it in a positive way. Even if today itself, if you go back to sarcasm, to put it mildly, I can say that you are a very, very salty person.
Uh, Bharat, I want to go over to you. Just let's because we've been talking about India for so long. I feel for Marizanne Cap. I feel for Nadine de Klerk. I feel for Chloe Tryon, especially Tryon and Marizanne Cap. These two have been in the South African setup for so long. You also saw them multiple times going to the final. This was their third final in the T20. No, first two finals in the T20 World Cup in the past two T20 World Cups, and then this one. It hurts to see legends that you've been seeing growing up and in tears that we saw Marizan Cap, but you feel for them, don't you?
Yeah, obviously. Last year, I was at the stadium in Dubai. There, I saw all those South African girls crying. Actually, that was the game where South Africa actually choked because they were better than New Zealand. If you look at the two teams, our South African team was the superior of the two, and they should have won that match. That they choked there. And in the 2023 final, obviously, they lost to Australia. I think Australia was the better team, and here also Indian team was the better one. But still, they could have put up a better fight if they had taken those catches. Shafali Verma was dropped on 56, and then they dropped three more catches. They dropped four catches. I have rarely seen South Africa drop so many catches in this tournament so far. They have fielded quite well. So on the big occasion, they didn't field well, but I honestly thought their biggest chance was last year against New Zealand. They were the superior team, but unfortunately they lost. And there also all their girls, they were crying, and you feel very sad for someone like Marizan Kapp, because she has been around since ages of maybe around 14 years, 15 years. I remember she took a hat trick against Bangladesh woman in 2012. That is way back. And in 2015 here at the Chinnaswamy, she actually ripped through India's batting lineup, taking a 4 for. So she has been playing for so long. Unfortunately, things have uh, not gone for her from her perspective. It's not gone in her favor in terms of the semis, in the terms of finals. Woolwart as well. She was a part of the 2020 semi-final, which they lost to Australia by a rather close margin. They lost that semi-final to England in 2017 as well, and then they lost lost that final last year as well. So yes, a lot of heartbreaking moments for the South African team, for Kaap, for Nadine de Klerk, for Woolwart. Shabnim Ismail obviously has retired by now, but she also had a few heartbreaks. But I do believe in a lot of those finals, they were not the best team. But last year, they were definitely the superior team. There too, they lost. I think that was their best chance of clinching a world or ICC trophy.
Shomik, your thoughts on South Africa? They've been brilliant throughout the tournament. It feels sad to watch, Marizan Cap in tears in the dugout, sitting there disappointed, heartbroken at not winning the World Cup again.
See, no sympathies. This is a professional sport. No quarter is given, none asked for. They are serial bottlers, serial chokers. They are not going to win any. They are never going to win any final. Absolutely, the Marizan Cap you mentioned. In a final, she got out, got down the leg side. Amazing, unbelievable. How can you such a as soft as it gets? They are not good enough to win finals. Simple as that. End of story. They can shed as much tears as they like, but they are not. They don't have big match temperament. Simple as that. India have that big match temperament. That is the difference.
Suman Avasti is saying Deepthi is the player of the tournament and player of the match. 50 and 5 wickets. Shafali, great choice. No doubt she got in from nowhere to score very crucial runs and wickets. Yes, Weber was saying my whole society is buzzing with Dangal movie song. Incredible. Saika Chatterjee is saying the rise of our girls in sports is unmistakable. Already pronounced in Olympic disciplines and now in cricket, hope the win becomes the 83 moment for women's cricket. Shomik, Bharat, both your opinion on this. Shomik, let's go with you first.
Yeah, see how it would be a serious double whammy, isn't it? India winning the World Cup 2025, and 3 years down the line, they are going to win the Olympic gold medal in cricket. That would be a serious double whammy, isn't it? So, from that point of view, as I have said, I have already said, Gargi. I mean, this is India's time. This is India's carpe diem moment. Go and grab it. Australia dominated the sport in women's cricket for so long. Now you have dismantled Australia. Now this is your time. Don't let it slip. Go on a winning run. That people, I mean, that separates you from other teams. And the pinnacle, the crowning glory would be going and winning the Olympic gold medal at LA.
Bharat, your thoughts?
Yeah, from women's cricket point of view, I think this is their 1983 World Cup moment only. Because yes, there is the final in 2017. There has been WPL. I think WPL has played a pivotal role in helping to shift the landscape in terms of women's cricket. But winning a World Cup in home conditions in front of jam-packed stadiums, that definitely would transform women's cricket in India. I think a lot of girls will be watching this match, not just in the stadium but also in front of TVs, maybe streaming. So they all will get inspired. You will see a lot more girls coming through the ranks, hopefully, and playing for the Indian team. So India, I think, will have a larger talent pool going forward. So this World Cup definitely is going to transform women's cricket in India, and it's their Indian women's cricket's 1983 World Cup moment.
Um, Satvik Bagaria is saying, is asking, basically asking your views on Harmanpreet Kaur's captaincy. Tonight she was spot on. Tonight she was spot on with the bowling changes. Deserves a lot of credit for bringing in Shafali Verma instead of, going with someone who was already in the squad or already in the reserves. But tonight she was brilliant. Shamik?
Start of her show. At the start of her show, we have mentioned this. She was brilliant, not only with her bowling changes, in terms of field settings. If you see the dimension of the DY Patil Stadium, it is very important to cut down the angles. And the way he set the fields for every bowler, the way she cut down the angles, that was also brilliant. I mean, when uh, India needed to bring out their A game in back-to-back matches, they did it. In the semi-final also, Jemima Rodriguez was the real star, but we shouldn't forget Harmanpreet's innings and the partnership she had with Jemima. In the final, uh, she couldn't contribute much with the bat, but she made up for it with her captaincy, with her inspiration, and the way he kept all the fielders at their toes. She was having a go. This Renuka Thakur did a slip up. The ball went for a four, and Harmanpreet was and at that instant, she was snapping at her heels. She was having a go at her in a friendly way. Shefali Verma bowled a full toss. I saw that, and that was carded for a four. And what Harmanpreet did, he went to Shafali, gave him some words of encouragement, and that is the job of a captain. Well done, Harmanpreet Singh. Well done. You copped a lot of flack, but you let your captaincy, you let your leadership do the talking. That's what the champions do.
Absolutely. I want to
I'll
read
just
out
add a
a
point
tweet.
to it. I'll just add a point to it. I go back to what once Richie Benaud said, captaincy is 90% luck, 10% gut feel, but always try that 10% gut feel, and that might work. And that exactly happened today. That's what happened today with Shafali Verma, because it was that gut feel that really worked. That part timer coming into the equation and taking all those wickets. So I think that legendary quote, it's 90% luck, 10% gut feel, but always try that 10% gut feel. You never know what will happen.
I'd like to read out a tweet from uh, Harsha Bhogle. World champions. At the stroke of the midnight hour, India awakes to history. This is a moment in time that will change the course of the women's game. Lovely tweet from Harsha Bhogle.
No, at the stroke of the midnight hour, yes, absolutely
Yes,
lovely to it, and
yes.
the way he related it to Pandit Nehru's speech at the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India wakes. So it is, and the analogy is pretty apt. The analogy is
Yes,
pretty apt, as you said.
absolutely.
It's a very nice tweet. It's a very nice tweet.
That's why it just stuck out. I was reading everyone's tweets, and of course Harsha Bogle finds the absolutely right thing to say at the right time. But let's close the show. We've been going on for almost 50 minutes now. Fitmonk here is saying how destiny manifests. Everyone was criticizing not selecting Shafali in the World Cup, and today she owned the biggest stage. God is great. Shomik and Bharat, final words before we close the show. How is it feeling? I can hear the fireworks going off. How's it like outside the stadium at the moment?
See, now I mean I mean the
India Jindabad.
this is what is happening outside the stadium still, and it is one aim. It's almost one aim. So this is what's happening, and the prize distribution ceremony has one. Still, there are crowds inside the stadium, and as I told you, Gargi, I mean the nearest railway station is Panvel. The last train departed at 12:30 a.m. and still you can see hundreds of people are here. So given everything, given everything, I think if the fans will not celebrate tonight, when will that happen? When will they do it? So simple as that. Indians love their cricket and they opened their heart and hearts to the women's team, and the women's team stood up to the challenge. They rose to the occasion and made India proud. That's the thing.
100%. Bharat, your final thoughts. How is it all feeling right now?
Yeah, it's great to see the women's team winning the World Cup. See, I might be a little more of a phlegmatic kind of guy who doesn't really celebrate too much, but uh, something inside me tells that yeah, this is great. This is great for women's cricket that they have won the World Cup, that too in home conditions. I remember I started watching Indian women's cricket in the 1995 series between India and England. A long time ago, there was hardly any live telecast. When I used to watch occasional match between India and England in the 95 series, even girls would tell me, my classmates would tell me, "What are you doing? Watching women's cricket? Hardly anyone watches those matches." Yes, so if I look back at those times, if I look back at the Hero Honda World Cup in 1997, when India lost the semi-final again in front of hardly maybe 1,000, 2,000 fans to all these jam-packed stadiums, then I really feel happy that women's cricket has come a long way, and it is an extremely proud moment for India as a sporting nation itself that they have won the World Cup today.
India have done it. India are the new Women's ODI World Cup champions. We have all witnessed history in the making. There's lots coming tomorrow. I'm sure there will be lots of celebrations happening in Mumbai tomorrow as well. We'll be bringing you everything from on ground. Shomik is there. Trisha and Sneha Sheesh will probably stay on to cover any sort of celebrations that will happen in the city. So stay tuned to Rev Sports. We'll be back very, very soon. Thank you, Shomik. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, Trisha and Boria, who also joined us earlier in the show. This was a treat to watch, and what an experience covering this entire tournament. And especially special mention to Trisha and Sneha Sheesh, who have been covering women's cricket for a year round, and every single match, every single practice session, they have been bringing us the updates from on ground. They've done a brilliant job throughout the tournament. So special mention to Trisha and Sneha Sheesh for that. But thank you everyone for joining.
Yes,
We'll be back very soon. Yes, Shomik.
yes, Gargi. I'm very happy you mentioned Trisha and Sneha. I mean, for over a month, they traveled across the length and the breadth of the country and also Sri Lanka. The way they covered this tournament, both Snehashi and Trisha, a big shout out to them. Excellent coverage, and our Red Sport stood out in terms of covering the Women's World Cup. On that note, good night.
Absolutely. We pride ourselves in saying that Rev Sports has been in the tournament since day one. So thank you everyone for joining. We'll be back very soon. The Indian team is getting their pictures click in front of the champions board. So this is a moment to cherish. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night.